Hi, this is Will Poulter, and you're listening to the ACS Show.
Will Poulter.
Here he is.
Gents.
I'm going to tell a really funny story, actually, about Will. I feel like it's the best story to kind of speak on his character.
Yeah.
So we were traveling to Milan, and we were at the airport, and we see Will. We got on the plane. Me and Ashton are sitting in front of Will.
Yeah, just
correct?
in front, one seat in front.
We're finding out about how Will is on our plane. We're doing the same job as him. Blah, 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 blah. So you can imagine two guys trying to play almost too cool.
Too cool. We were really trying to play it cool.
And then Will taps me and says, "Where are those trousers from?"
I remember this.
And then we start talking. That is essentially who Will is. Probably the nicest person you will ever meet.
100%.
So yeah, this is a pleasure to have Will here.
Yeah.
Oh, bless. Thank you, lads, for having me on. I really appreciate it.
No worries, man.
Yeah. So just tell us a bit more about you in general. Will. What star sign are you?
I'm an Aquarius.
Okay.
So what's that, January?
January 28th I'm born.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sick.
And admittedly, I don't know all that much about
I thought you were going to go dive in there.
I'll be honest, no, I don't. But I'm here to be educated if you...
I mean, I don't know nothing about stars.
No, I don't. But how old are you this year?
I'm 20. I was just turned 28.
So how did you spend your 28th birthday this year?
My 28th birthday. It's going to sound a bit depressing. I was on set.
Okay.
I was working on my actual birthday. So I was away from family, etc. Which I think given obviously the recent events, it would have been nice to have been around family. But as it turned out, I wouldn't have been able to kind of celebrate in any real way anyway. So I was pretty happy to be at work and just kind of around good people at the time.
I think it's a blessing to be at work now, isn't it? And be able to do what you love, yeah.
Exactly, man. Exactly. That's kind of how I saw it. I don't know. Certain celebrations don't even necessarily feel like right, given the kind of recent history. But yeah, I was on set. I was working in Virginia, and when I came into the makeup trailer at the end of the day, everyone was drinking and ready to celebrate. So at least on a small scale. So it was
good.
It was fun.
It's good. So we've seen you obviously star in some amazing TV and film. How did your career start?
Thanks, man. The truth is, I got really lucky. Actually, so much so that when people ask me about breaking into the industry and stuff, I feel a sense of kind of guilt about how lucky I got, because I know that people strive, and it takes a long, long time for people to kind of get that breakthrough moment, that chance, and the way that my kind of first opportunity sort of came to me was really fortunate. I was just at school, and it wasn't a performance school per se, but I'd heard that this independent film had gone round the country looking, to cast two young kids in a movie, and the last school that they came to was my school, and these casting directors were kind of walking around the playground, and it sort of got round the school. Do you know what I mean? That people
Everyone's trying to show off, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. People are sort of acting up even more than usual. And my drama teacher, who's an incredible mentor to me, her name's Laura Lawson. I kind of owe her my whole career, really. She put up a piece of paper saying audition at 3:00, against the window while I was in class, and I was there trying to concentrate, but also acknowledge the fact that she'd sent me that message to be yeah, I'll be there kind of thing, try not to get in trouble. And then I turned up at 3:00 and did the audition, didn't think anything of it. It was cool to audition, do you know what I mean? It was just cool to get an audition, be in a film, but I really genuinely didn't think anything was going to come of it. And then I kind of kept sort of slipping through the net and going for callbacks, and eventually a chemistry read with Bill Milner, who I did the film with. The film was called Son of Rambo, and it was this tiny little independent film. We shot for 8 weeks over our summer holidays. It was a film about two young guys making a film in their summer holidays, and that's exactly what we were doing. So it was kind of zero acting required.
Amazing.
But kind of the nicest sort of introductory experience you could have asked for. And Garth Jennings, the director, and Nick Goldsmith, the sort of director and producer respectively, were just so nurturing to me and Bill, and so patient and kind of loving with us in that sort of, through that first experience. And me and Bill are still in contact today, and that's kind of how it all started, really. really. So very, very blessed that was my introduction.
That's amazing. And did you? Sorry,
Great.
Ash, and did you get paid for this, or was this something that you did voluntarily, or was this?
Yeah, that was the other thing. I was like, and I'm getting paid to do. I couldn't,
amazing.
I was like 12 years old, and I was like, and I get some pocket money
Oh,
too.
it was 12. Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy, man.
So that was mad, and I think for me, at school at that time, just where I was, I it's very young to sort of feel any kind of real sense of like a crisis, or feel like you are carrying sort of the weight of the world on your shoulders. I wasn't quite dealing with that, but I did feel at a loss as to what I was doing, what I was going to do once I left school. I didn't feel like I was really in touch with my purpose. And then getting a chance to act in that film, I think really kind of confirmed it for me that at least that's what I wanted to do. I didn't know whether it was going to become a reality or, a sustainable profession, until much later down the line. But it definitely woke me up.
Until those checks start rolling in.
No, absolutely.
Well, I don't know. It was just one of those where I got a taste of something that made me feel like, oh, this is me,
And you felt good.
Yeah, exactly. And I felt like I was doing what I was supposed to be doing,
What now, when you look back, was it that? What film means the most to you over the years, or TV series, or project?
Yeah, I've been really fortunate in the sense that with each job, I feel like I've grown in some department or another. I've been able to sort of develop my own kind of identity through the work experience and whatever experience I've had playing characters. And it's also come with travel and the opportunity to meet people from around the world. And I'm really grateful that that's part of my sort of my working experience. The job that probably was most kind of transformative to me was probably Detroit, which
Wow, incredible film. I mean, if you haven't watched Detroit, you need to watch that ASAP, because that film itself is
it's very moving. It's very moving, yeah.
It's moving, but it's also very eye opening, because this is a real story,
Yeah,
and a real time, most importantly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, fully, man. Exactly. That was the first thing for me. Is here was this kind of horrendous sort of, horrendously inhumane story that I wasn't even aware of. That, in fact, and without speaking out of turn, I think a lot of America wasn't aware of, and even some Detroiters didn't know about it. And it was so important to bring it to the forefront of people's consciousness as much as we were able to, because although the film was set in 1967, the narrative, or I should say the reality of unarmed black men being killed by the police was so prominent at the time that we shot the film. And 50 years on, there was almost a mirroring of the events that we were depicting and what was going on the streets, like while we were shooting it. So it felt like there was a real kind of responsibility to do justice to the truth of the story, and I think kind of rework the narrative, because it had been inevitably sort of bent out of shape, and all of the police officers, walked off scot-free, which again is in line with too many of these kind of cases. So to have an opportunity to, I guess, be a part of telling that story and the real truth behind it was a huge honor more than anything else.
And how does what studying goes into doing a film like that? Do you have somebody who kind of teaches you what kind of happened, the stories that were depicted back then? How do you
deal with it as an actor?
How do you go into that line of character?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I think first and foremost, I was blessed to have Ziza Delgado, who is a prolific academic, and she has a PhD in ethnicity studies and African American history, and she really gave me the education that I never got at school, that I should have got.
And also a lot of people don't get.
Right, exactly.
And should get.
Yeah, exactly. On I think the concepts of race as a social construct, how racism has affected, the lived experience of people of color, and how white people such as myself have been protected from prejudice. All of that was something I was learning way too late, and something I wish I'd learned, a great deal of time beforehand. So getting the chance to sit down with Ziza was amazing, and that was a key part of preparing. And then obviously in playing someone who is kind of avidly racist, you then have to sort of embody.
I mean, avidly is an understatement.
Yeah,
Right. Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
But you also have to mentally prepare yourself to play such an inhumane character, like, and be amongst other actors that are playing that. It must be for you as well.
And especially someone like you. You know, we spoke on this in the beginning. Well, you're obviously almost too nice in a way. So
it's like not right.
No, seriously. So to go from that to somebody who's lining up people against a staircase with a shotgun in your hand, you know, saying whatever you're saying. You know, there are so many scenes in that film that are really shocking. But one, you're an incredible actor to be able to turn that on, and then two, you know, the studying that goes into that to be able to really take people's experiences. You know, I'm guessing you spoke to survivors or victims, to take those experiences and to almost make them your own, to tell their story is incredible. On top of that, putting on an American accent as well. You know, there's layers to it.
Yeah, definitely, man.
I certainly appreciate that. I mean, we were really, you know, fortunate in that we had one of the survivors on set with us, and another one of the survivors, you know, contributed heavily to the sort of construction of the story and the writing of the script.
That's crazy.
So yeah, without them being so brave as to allow us to tell that story, you know, we wouldn't have been there in the first place, and wouldn't have had their kind of blessing and their go ahead. And certainly, you know, as actors, you're also aware, particularly in my position as the like perpetrator of the violence and as the racist in the equation, it's like you're very aware of the fact that you're acting something out, and whatever discomfort or whatever kind of unease I'm feeling during that time, whatever psychological impact, it's so minimal by comparison to, you know, first and foremost, like, you know, my colleagues playing the victims and survivors, but moreover the real individuals who were lost in the tragedy of what happened. So it kind of contextualizes it all, and that's not to say it's not, you know, incredibly hard, but we also all kind of got each other through it, I think, by you know, having you know, those moments of levity when it was appropriate, and when we were away from set, and bonding as a cast, so that when we came down to, you know, the work and doing the business, then we were all really focused and sort of trained on the task.
Imagine doing that film and then literally leaving each other after. You would literally hate each other. So we spoke on, you know, activism in general. Activism is something that obviously is close to what you are and what you do and what you love. Was there a singular moment that made you feel like this is something you want to work with or work on?
It's funny. I mean, I think that the earliest, I mean, I don't know. I always feel like I'm an actor who has an opportunity to shine light through my platform and social media or whatever else on the work that's being done by real activists. You know, that's kind of always the way I've sort of seen it. I don't do the real work. I kind of hopefully point people in direction of the people who are, and if I can highlight it or put it on my platform, great, you know. The earliest kind of involvement I guess I had in that sort of lane was with Anti-Bullying Pro and my friend Alex Holmes, who set that up. He won the Diana Award for his work, and having experienced bullying himself, he basically created the Anti-Bullying Ambassador Program. Is
that, are you an ambassador for that, or you're working with them closely?
Yeah, exactly. And I've been an ambassador with them since about 2010. And the concept of his program is to try and make school a safer and happier place by kind of developing an anti-bullying culture within schools. And that works by training up young people to be ambassadors for anti-bullying, and they kind of become sort of go-to people for those who are suffering bullying. And they are these sort of ambassadors within their school that are, you know, actively making it a safer, happier place to be. You know, we're so sort of malleable at a young age, and in our formative years, you know, I think there's no overstating how damaging bullying can be to people's psychological development in the moment, but also long after you've left school. Like, I know there's things I've hung on to from things I experienced at school, you know,
it's real.
Even now, do you know what I mean? And so there really shouldn't be a place for it. And I think one of the things that he's sort of fighting against, and I think Anti-Bullying Pro as a sort of charity are working against, is this sort of quite old, outdated and ultimately flawed idea that bullying is sort of character building, that it's something everyone goes through and you just have to deal with it. And
it's almost like, you know, the excuse of, they're just kids.
Exactly. Exactly.
Sometimes kids are the worst.
Yeah.
And me as adults, there are bullies, but as children, you're so easy to gang up on certain children, you know, and the experience that.
How was your
fully, man?
How was your early life, Will? What was you doing, you know, after school, just in general?
I played a lot of football, not particularly well, but that was really my only interest outside of acting. And then I think my way of getting through school, if I'm honest, was sort of clowning around, and you know, I was living for one lesson of drama a week kind of thing. Like that was just all I really cared about. It's like Friday morning, double period of drama. That was just get me to that.
Yeah.
That was it, really.
It's good that you had that though. A lot of kids don't even have that.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
A lot of kids have get me till when, you know, the bell rings and I can go home and, you know, jump on the PS4.
True.
Or PS5 if you're lucky.
Right. PS5 would be very
so,
lucky. Yeah. And soon it will be the VR headset or wherever it is. Get me home to my hoverboard.
Literally.
But is there any mentors now that you check in with in or out of the industry that you kind of seek help from or advice?
Yeah, a few, man. Like I feel like anytime I'm in a position where I'm working with a, you know, an older creative, I try and soak things up, you know. I'm working with an actor called Conleth Hill at the moment on a show. He's just amazing. Like someone who's been doing it for years and years and years. And, you know, as a comparatively like young person in the industry, I'm, you know, trying my best to sort of see what I can learn from him. And I try and identify who those people are on set, you know, each time I'm in a new workspace. In terms of mental... Just
going around looking at everyone's passport, seeing how old they are.
Exactly, yeah.
Who's the oldest in the room?
Through the CVs. You know, but mentors, Laura Lawson, as I mentioned, my drama teacher, you know, I'm godfather to her son, and, and we still keep in contact. And, you know, she created School of Comedy, which was a TV show I did when I was younger, and kind of gave me my first chance to perform, and then my first audition. Mm-hmm. So, you know, will forever be a mentor and someone I'm eternally grateful to. Michael Apted, who passed away last year, was director of the third Narnia film that I did, and he gave me advice that I kind of carry with me on every job now. Like he's someone I was really grateful for, and someone who I think really treated me like an adult when I wasn't really one. Because
you started so young, your career was like catapulted at. I mean, the first thing I remember seeing you in is Weird and Millers.
Oh, really? Right.
But before that was Son of Rambo. So I think like for you to mature and do these films with adults, it's tough.
Yeah, man, it was. Like I found myself in...
Growing up fast.
Yeah.
Basically, like kind of having to in a way, which I appreciated, but I wasn't under any illusion about the fact that like I wasn't an adult. But it was, I think I was a little bit precocious. I think I wanted to be an adult. Do you know what I mean? I think
you get to 21 and like late 20s or mid 20s and you're like, wow, I wish I was 18 again.
Yeah, exactly. You want to go the other way.
Yeah.
But I think I spent my whole childhood wanting to be, you know, in the adult conversations, treated like an adult, like act like an adult. That was always kind of, for as long as I can remember, part of my experience. And so when I did Narnia, which was my second film, and I moved to Australia for 6 months, and you know I was working on this. I went from this tiny little indie to this like huge set, and it was such a mad adjustment to go from one to the other. I really needed like I thought I needed like another kind of like father-like mentor, you know. But Michael Apted, you know, and I'm really grateful for this retroactively, wasn't going to pat me on my back and tell me it was all going to be okay and like, you know, don't worry. He like said, there's the bar, like there's the standard, like meet it. And he really held me to account, and he rarely gave me like praise, but that I think brought like the best out of me, and I really appreciated that. And he also spoke to me like an adult, you know, which I really appreciated. I think I needed.
I love the, I mean, I'm kind of similar myself. I love that tough love mentality, because
you don't appreciate them, but when you have age,
and also behind the scenes, you realize that the person's just really proud of you. You know, they may not tell you themselves that, listen, I'm proud of you and I want you to, you know, achieve this and get to this benchmark, but they're pushing you because they believe in you.
Definitely.
You know, so it's a two-way streak. We're going to play a quick fire round.
Oh, yeah.
So we ask you, well, we say two things,
and you have
to pick one thing.
Okay.
You going to start?
You can start.
Oh, is it coming from both?
Oh, it's coming from both angles.
Okay. Oh, my gosh.
All angles
all
here.
All right.
Just got to catch it.
Pasta or pizza?
Pasta.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Present or the future?
Present. Present.
Okay. Prada or Burberry?
Prada.
Nike Air Forces or Reebok Classics?
Nike Air Forces.
Arsenal or Tottenham?
Arsenal, please.
Yes, thank God he said that.
Oh my gosh. It would be interview over if I'd said Tottenham.
Big nights out or chilled nights in?
Chilled nights in.
Music or movies?
Movies.
Okay,
Movies.
fair enough. You lose your job otherwise.
Yeah. Exactly.
London or New York?
London.
City or countryside?
This one's...
You can do it with the right frame of mind you're in right now.
Yeah, how are you feeling right now?
City.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Okay.
That was safe. No, you played it well there.
Was that all right?
Yeah, no, that was good. That was good.
That was the wrong answer. when I said that.
Another thing I was going to ask you, we know you've got an amazing wardrobe. What you've got on today is amazing.
Shout out to my Teresa.
Yeah, shout out to
Shout
my
out
Teresa.
to my Teresa, indeed. And Rose Ford.
Yes,
Hey, Rose, got to put
absolutely.
Rose's name in there.
Is there an item in your wardrobe that you would never get rid of?
Honestly, it might be this after today.
Okay.
It might be this.
Okay.
There are some shoes that I think it would have to be shoes. I have a pair of Virgil Abloh from the 10 collection.
Okay.
Was that when you done the 10 different ones?
The 10 different Nikes. You know, I've got some Air Force Ones that Virgil
Staples.
created that I would cry.
Staples.
They went
a lot
missing.
if anything happened to those. Yeah, I barely worn them.
Box fresh.
They are pretty. Yeah, and
Do you still keep your trainers in a shoebox? What's your setup like?
certain ones? Yeah, I actually hand built a cupboard for my
I don't know what I'm laughing at,
trainers.
sorry.
No, it's fully nerdy.
You're
It's
laughing 'cause-
fully nerdy.
Ashton's laughing because he probably needs to do the same. You should see
Yeah,
the state of his
100%.
wardrobe.
Yeah.
Man.
No, I say I hand built. That's a slight conflation. I didn't quite hand build.
I paid someone to build it.
Yeah.
No. So I designed a cupboard that comes as a flat pack.
Okay.
That then you have to build.
Hang on, does it lift? Is it one that lift?
Not quite.
Oh,
no,
okay,
it's like
yeah,
it comes
yeah.
in tiles.
Have you seen the bed that opens up and there's all trainers underneath?
That's what I have at home.
Is that what you've got?
Yeah, you lift my.
No, there's an actual Jordan. Oh no, it's not a bed. Sorry, it's a
That sounds
shoebox.
amazing, though.
Yeah.
It's a shoebox. It's a Jordan shoebox which
Yes.
you open.
Yeah.
I mean, we're too old to have that now,
No,
but it is
no.
pretty cool.
They're really hard to get hold of.
Yeah.
I did wonder whether that was like just me not growing up. Like I was like, can I get away with this? But yeah, so I have that, and then there are certain ones that I've never taken out of the. Well, no, I've taken out of the box, but I've never worn. I've kept in the box. There's a pair I have. There's an Air Force One pair that I have that's been designed, that Complex did in association with Detroit the film,
Oh, amazing.
and a Detroit
That's special.
artist called El Capi. And they're like spray painted Air Force Ones. I have those in a case. That might actually be my favorite.
That's special.
Yeah.
If you're
It's
ever
good that they're all Air Forces though.
yeah,
Respect that.
literally,
Yeah.
if you're ever a little tight on cash, you know what to sell.
Yeah.
There you go.
Give me a call.
What was
There
the
you go.
What was the last song you listened to, if you can remember?
Last song I listened to, Sam Wise.
Okay.
A song called Touchdown. He's really
Haven't heard that
talented.
one.
I think we've even played that in one of the last shows.
Oh,
Did we?
really?
Yeah.
He's really talented, man. Sam Wise probably was the last thing I listened to.
Amazing. And we know you're a football fan.
Yes.
You've been following the Euros.
Yes.
What's your prediction?
Last night turned out a lot better than I thought it would.
Man, I thought it was going to be
I was worried.
yeah.
I was worried going into that.
Where did you watch that game?
I watched that at my best mates growing up were my next door neighbours. So I watched it at my next door neighbour's house. Yeah. So I was back at my mum's at the moment, staying with her for a little bit, and I went next door with like my childhood best friends, and we all watched
Just
it
like
together, which was
good
so
old
nice.
days.
Just like the good old days.
Perfect.
It was so nice.
Come and knock for you, like
Yeah,
Will
literally.
there?
Yeah.
He's not in.
Yeah, what's the prediction? Euros.
And be honest as well. We're all
Yeah.
patriots here. We all want
Yeah.
England to win.
Right.
But England, you know, you guys tend to
I don't know why I said you
high
guys.
high blood pressure. Put it that way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's true. Not great for the blood pressure. Being an Arsenal fan and an England
Literally.
Me
fan,
too.
it's a lot on the heart. It's a lot of strain.
Saka though.
Saka, I know, and the fact he got injured, I was gutted. I really wanted to see him play yesterday. I'm going to say it's an England-Italy final,
okay.
I was saying that, but I'm not confident.
but I don't know whether I can say any more than that.
Okay.
They do look so good.
Italy incredible, isn't it?
And if you had to pick between your national team being England and Arsenal, you had to pick one team you had to support. Which team would it be?
I have to be honest. You're an Arsenal fan.
Yeah,
as well,
I'm
I'm an Arsenal fan as well.
Oh, you are as well.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's an Arsenal table.
so we can just speak candidly.
Yeah.
You can relax now.
Yeah. It's funny, and I'm ashamed to say this, but I feel so strongly about certain Tottenham players as an Arsenal fan that I struggle to support England.
100%.
Like I struggle
100%.
to, and they seem like really nice guys. I'm not questioning their character, but it's really hard for me to cheer for Kane.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
Yeah.
I find it
agree.
really difficult.
I mean, we won't go into detail, but I agree with you there.
Yeah.
I just find it it's frustrating sometimes.
Yeah.
Because the whole world is behind, and he's an amazing player, but I just feel like there's certain players that could be playing in that position who could do amazingly well. And I don't think they get given the time of day.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think it's the fact of watching virtually every Arsenal game I can, remember since I was young, whereas I haven't done the same with the England team, to be honest.
But it's coming home.
It is coming home.
It is coming home.
Yeah.
So we're saying it's an Arsenal siding, but it is coming home.
100%.
That's a great way of putting it. 50-50.
Exactly, man. But yeah.
Listen, this has been an absolute pleasure for us.
Thank you both.
It's
a long time coming, yeah.
Yeah.
And you rarely get, talent in general, whether it be music or film or, visual art, that really devotes their whole life and being and purpose into amplifying, young voices, disadvantaged voices. So we super appreciate that, and
we're super proud as well.
Yeah, and we're super proud. So
you guys too. Proud of you. Thank you.
Will Poulter, everyone.
Thank you.
And actually, I just say, Emmanuel's got some flowers he's going to give you. Because I always give out the flowers, and he really wanted to give the flowers.
Bless, thank you.
So here they are. I'll give you your flowers,
gosh,
man.
These are beautiful, man. Thank
and
you
they were
so
handmade
much.
as well by Tej.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah.